Hi and welcome to the fifth part of our exponents and surds revision. There's questions here dealing with rationalising the denominator. What we need to do here is to get rid of the surd, which is on the bottom, only the surd part. So in this one here we've got root 5 as our surd, so what we're going to do is multiply both the numerator and the denominator by root 5. So this will be equal to, on the top we have root 2 times root 5 is root 10, over, on the bottom we have 3 times by root 5 times root 5 is root 25. Now you might be able to identify that root 25 is just equal to 5. So we now have this is equal to root 10 over 3 times 5 is 15. So here we end up with an answer which has no surd component on the denominator. To the next question, we do exactly the same thing. We have root 7 on the bottom, so we're going to multiply both top and bottom by root 7. Because we've got more than one part to the numerator, we're going to put it into a bracket, make sure we multiply all of it by that. So we have root 7 times root 7 is root 49. We've got a plus, and then 3 root 6 times root 7 is 3 root 6 sevens are 42, divided by root 7 times root 7 is root 49. So this will be equal to, square root of 49 is 7, plus 3 root 42 over square root of 49 is 7. Now what we need to do is to just quickly check the root 42 here to see if we can simplify that at all. Root 42 looks like it should have something go into it, but if we get 42, and I'm just going to do a little factor tree here, we'll break it down to its prime factors. So 42 7 sixes, and then 6 will go into 2 times 3. We can see there from the 3 prime factors that none of those repeat, so there are no perfect squares that go into root 42. If we had have ended up with 2 of these prime factors being the same, that would then give you the opportunity to further simplify that root 42. So as this sits now, that is now the answer that we have. So let's move on to the next one. This one here, to rationalise the denominator, we need to use conjugate surds. So what I'm going to do is we look at the denominator here. We're going to multiply the top and the bottom by the conjugate. So the conjugate will go 1 plus root 3. So it's the same 2 terms. This has got a minus, so we're going to replace that with a plus. If there had been a plus on the left-hand side, then the conjugate would be 1 take away root 3. But yeah, so this is the way we do it. We're going to put some brackets around there for our multiply. So we go 4 root 3 times 1 is equal to 4 root 3. And we've got a plus. And 4 root 3 times root 3 will be 4 root 9 over. Then the bottom here, with the conjugates, we go 1 times 1 is 1 squared. If we're going to do this in long term, 1 times root 3 is going to be plus root 3. Negative root 3 times 1 is negative root 3. And negative root 3 times root 3 will be negative root 9. If you've gone through the sheets, you would have realised that these two will cancel each other out. So we would end up with 4 root 3 plus 4 times root 9 is 3 on the top, divided by 1 squared minus the square root of 9 is 3. So now we have 4 root 3 plus 12 over 1 take away 3 is negative 2. Or we can put the negative to the top and we can say that we've got negative 4 root 3. So everything on the top would need to become negative. Take away 12 over 2. So positive 2 down the bottom. Let's move on to the next slide. Write in standard form. What we need to do is we'll look at the numbers that we have here. I'm going to go 2.1. This first digit here needs to be between 0 and 9. So we'll identify our 2, put the decimal point after it. And now we'll need to work out how many places we've moved it by. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decimal places we've moved it by. So this will be by 10 to the power of negative 6. This is a small number, so we'll have a negative 6 power. If it was a big number, it would be a positive. That's the answer to that one. Now the next one, performing this multiplication without a calculator, what we can do is we can take that term there, 3 times by the 2, times by this bit, 10 to the negative 11, times by this bit, 10 to the 5. Now what we can do is we go 3 times 2 is 6, multiplied by 10, and we just use our index law for this part here. Index law, when we're multiplying, we've got the same power, they're both 10. We're multiplying together, so it's just a matter of adding those two powers together. So it'll be minus 11 plus 5, which will give you 6 by 10 to the power of negative 6. And that's the answer there. And that's the end of this one. Thanks.